All right, grace and peace to everybody. This can be I think my last video on this, but um, given uh, given what happened, you have to excuse my odd voice. Still getting over being sick, sore throat, and all that fun stuff, especially with the heat. But given what happened with Abraham and everything, I offered for him to come on my channel instead. I said, "Well, why don't you come on my channel and we'll talk at one-on-one, or you can bring some friends, and it'll just be me and your friends." Well, we went back and forth for a little bit, and he declined. I'm going to go over some things that he said. And it's weird because when we talked on the phone, he was very positive, acting like he was on my side. You know, like, I still want to talk with you. Let's try to get this through. You know, I'll talk to everybody else. I even told him I've been trying to talk with him for a few years now. And he's like, he never questioned it. He said, "Yeah, well, here's the reason why." You know, and I already cataloged that he lied. So he's able to lie. Abraham is able to lie, and that's okay and acceptable to these guys. But because somebody said a joke on my panel, got corrected, and we moved on, now it's all of a sudden like a super hardcore sin, and he refuses to discuss Daniel 8 with me. And then add on top of that, he's unwilling to come on my platform, or I think anywhere else. I'd go on somebody else's platform. It really gives me the impression that he's actually not wanting to have a conversation. He claims he respects me, but he shows zero respect towards me. It does seem like he's wanting to run from the conversation as opposed to having it, latching onto any excuse that he can in order to cancel and it doesn't make sense. Him and I were supposed to have our own conversation, and the issue was, excuse me, the issue was he was not setting up the time for him and I. He was not communicating well. It was pretty bad. And so I met this guy named Daryl, who you guys are aware of, on there, and he was willing to set up a time, get me in there with him to talk about Michael the Archangel. I said, sure, why not? You know, it was nice of him to do that. I appreciate it, because he wasn't even interested in having another conversation. So he did it, you know, on my behalf. And what does Abraham do? Instead of setting up two separate conversations, one with Daryl and me about Michael the Archangel, one with him and I about Daniel 8, he puts the two conversations together as one. And then says, you each get 1 hour. Makes zero sense. But he was so hard to communicate with that I wasn't really going to like make a big fuss about it, because it was, well, you got this conversation, fine, let's do it. Because before that happened, I couldn't even get him to figure out a day where we could talk. He assumed all kinds of wrong things. Like, he assumed that I could only do specific dates. Never said that. And it was just a huge mess, or super annoying, you know, because it's like, let's just talk Daniel 8, get it done. You said you want to, and this is all based upon him saying he wanted to, or else I wouldn't even be talking about him right now. I'm just going to address a couple of things he said, make it clear that It was not me who backed out of this. It was him. He refuses to talk with me about this. Claims he wants to in the future, which I'm not even, doesn't even matter to me. Because all the nonsense I've had to go through with this guy just to get to this point for him to cancel it. And whoever, I don't even know if it's him, like he seems to be going back and forth. Like we talk on the phone and he's nice. He comes on here and he questions everything I say. So it's goofy. But I want to go over. So this is the live that we're going to do. And he wrote a bunch of stuff here, which I don't know if it's him writing it or if it's AI writing it for him. But he says he wanted to apologize for what happened. If you go on my YouTube, which think about this as well too. Nobody would have even known that that individual made the joke that took 5 seconds on my 2-hour live stream. Nobody would have even known about it if he would not have spoken up and said anything. None of this would have even been an ordeal, because Daryl got corrected, so it's not appropriate, and we moved on. That's all it was. That's all it was. And then he made this huge ordeal, like this insanely huge ordeal. Took the joke hyper literal, as if he was being accused of literally being a homosexual. None of that is the case, but he says, I wrote a post of what happened. Basically, I went on the person who were supposed to debate this Saturday, went on their platform to see what they were saying so I could be a little ready to see their arguments. You know, while I was there, things got heated. One gentleman ended up saying that that's not even how it went. Things got heated, as he's saying that as if us on the panel were heated. There's an individual who came in hot, but that wasn't one of us. There was a gentleman who came on after that and made the joke, and we moved on after the joke. Got corrected and we moved on. He said, when I heard that, I knew that the people that I work with on my page, because I just don't work alone on my page, as a team on my page, they were going to hear it. Why would they hear it? Unless if you went and told them. I was going to have to go back and consult with them to see if we can move forward after consulting with them, because of the attitude of Daryl, notice this, because of the attitude of Daryl, not Sola, but Daryl, we have been forced to cancel the debate. The whole thing is I was supposed to have a separate time. There's supposed to be 2 separate discussions, Daryl's and mine, 2 separate. But he lumps us together and then says, well, then neither of you can talk to me. I'm not going to talk to either of you now. Let's see. I have spoken with him. I want an apology and refuses. See, none of this has to do with me. None of this has to do with me. But somehow I got lumped in with this. And now it's all of a sudden all my fault. And our discussion gets canceled. And the annoying part is I have been patiently waiting for 2 years or more to have this discussion with him. And even that fact, which he acknowledged on the phone, and he said, well, I wasn't ready to have this discussion with you back then. So he acknowledged it, straightforward acknowledged it. Turns around after this and then questions whether or not that's actually true, which is like, what kind of games are you playing, dude? What kind of games are you playing? Are you a teenager playing these games, or are you a grown adult male? Because if you're a grown adult male, you're not going to be constantly going back and forth with like uh, agreeing with what I'm saying and speaking nice to me, and then turning around and uh, doing the opposite, questioning if that's really true, and just like lying about things. Drama. Let me see. Well, I'm not sure if these are on the same page, but I'm gonna go to this. So I wanted to go over this real quick, and then I'm pretty much done with this individual, unless if he reaches out, I'll still talk with him, but I'm not. You know, it's just, this is dumb stuff. I'm a grown adult man. I'm not like a little child. You know, at the end of the day, grow some thick skin. Somebody made a joke, brush it off, you move on. And at the very most, if it really offended you that bad, you just tell me, hey, I just wanted an apology. That's all I wanted. I'd apologize. My bad. I'm sorry for allowing someone to make a joke on my panel. That got corrected and we moved on. If you can't, like, that's going to happen in life. Worse is going to come your direction if you stand for Christ. You're going to have to man up and deal with it. So this, maybe he does have thick skin, and this is all just an excuse not to have the conversation with me. Because, well, let's be real. Daniel 8 in 1844 is indefensible. And it is the central pillar of Adventism. And if 1844 crumbles down, then the unique aspects of Adventism, or the reason why I say unique is the system they put together, right? There's different beliefs within this unique system that are not unique in and of themselves. There are people before the Advent movement that had, you know, aspects of it that they taught and they believed. But the unique system of Adventism, that is David Tobin type and antitype, you know, and within that is, you know, the scapegoat, 1844 investigative judgment, moving from the holy place, most holy place, 2300 reaching for 2300 years, all sanctuary doctrine, all that crumbles down. Because that's what it means to be an Adventist. Because you can still keep Sabbath and not be an Adventist. You can still believe in annihilationism and soul sleep and not be an Adventist. You can still hold to premillennialism and not be an Adventist. But you cannot hold to the heavenly premillennialism as they understand it and not be an Adventist. It's very an Adventist way of understanding it. So there are certain things that will absolutely crumble down if you cannot defend the 2300 as years in Daniel 8, and you can't. If he came on here and talked with me, I would prove that and show that to him. And that's what I wanted to do, was to show him that 1844 is not a prophetic date by going to Daniel 8. And so I have this suspicion that he knows that he will not be able to defend his position against me in a discussion. It's not going to be a heated debate. It's going to be a discussion. You can look at all my live discussions, which I'm glad I did those, because the evidence is there. You can see I'm not like mean and harsh. I'm laid back, casual, respectful in all conversations I've had with Adventists, private and public. But it's even possible that his team that he talks about knows this as well too, and I'd have them all on. Is there 5 on his team? Bring them all on. Bring them all on. I would talk to every single one of them. We have a 5-hour discussion like what they like to do on Daniel 8. I would address all of their points, and I would argue against their position. So all this like childish back and forth about a joke that somebody made that was 5 seconds long. Just move on, man. Just brush it off. Brush it off your shoulder and move on. Who cares if somebody made a mildly crude joke about, and it wasn't even about, he takes it hyper literal, like he's being accused of actual homosexuality. But he should understand symbolic language, being an Adventist. So he should understand that it was just a reference to Abraham showing Ellen G. White quotes, and then Daryl saying that, well, you get this from Ellen G. White, and then Taylor coming in all hot and getting all like huffy and puffy with Daryl. That's all it was a reference to. It's called symbolic language. I mean, you should know this. Come on, man. See, I said, well, don't you want to talk? Are you not going to talk to me? He says, no, I'm not saying that. I'm not going to talk to you. What I'm saying is the debate was canceled. So debate was canceled and you don't want me on your channel, fine. Come on my channel on Saturday. We'll do the discussion before you're live. And then you have time to do your live. He still refused to even do that. Heck, I'd even talk to him in private. It does not have to be public. Let's talk privately. Bring all your friends. We'll talk private. He won't even do that, as far as I know. Do you understand what I'm saying? Everything was planned. I was telling my audience, I'm aware of this. We're going to have a good time. You guys just don't know how to behave. See? Look at that. You guys just don't know how to behave. As if the whole time we're sitting there like mocking them and making fun of them. A 5-second joke out of a 2-hour live stream. And in the bigger context of like 20 hours of live discussions I've had, 5 seconds is all it took for him to say this. This is that hyper perfectionist, sinless mindset. This is what it does to you. You don't know how to show grace. Grace is a foreign idea to you. You expect perfection from the people you're going to talk to. And if they slip up even once, slip up meaning by your standard, you cut them off, you cancel them, you silence them, you do whatever. And it's not a good mindset to have. You got to show grace to people because people mess up. And you, as an ambassador of Christ and his kingdom, you got to be stronger than that. You got to be tougher than that. You can't be so weak that if one little mild joke is said about you, you cancel everything, you shut it down. It looks goofy. It looks silly. He said, are you being serious or are you playing right now? No, I'm being 100% serious. You have zero cause for concern if we're going to talk. Zero. Because the debate was scheduled and ready to go, I'm aware. Yeah, everything was planned out. I even posted it on my channel. I'm aware. For you to say that is very dishonest of you, my friend. There's no dishonesty. See, it's just like this. Why even say that? You know, nothing was dishonest. I've been straightforward this whole time. And that's not nice. See, it's like he's trying to treat everybody like kindergartners. We're grown men. We're not kindergartners. I said, yes, it feels like you're running because you won't even come to my channel. When we talked, you made it seem, and this is true, when we talked on the phone, he made it seem like he was okay with me and there was nothing wrong with me. It was just something that Daryl said that apparently really offended him, hurt his feelings really bad. I said, if that's the case, then I don't see why you can't come on my channel Saturday. And I pointed out, plus you even lied about me in your post, or you lied to me on the phone, which is true. He lied. One or the other, he lied. Because in the post, he claimed that I've done this behavior in the past, and that's why I was blocked. But on the phone, he said, no, you were only blocked because I was not ready to have a conversation with you. Doesn't make sense. Makes zero sense, but that's what he said. So He's allowed to lie. And this, again, is that perfectionist, legalistic, sinless mindset, is that you are not going to be able to do wrong, even if you lie like that. But the person you're going against, they slip up once, they are in the wrong 100%. I said also our discussion was supposed to be just us, as we agreed in the emails, which is true. I still have the emails. He agreed it was just him and I. And then out of the blue, he puts two different separate conversations into one live stream that are supposed to be separate. So this whole ordeal is on him. It's his mess up, his mistakes. You don't see me when he made those mistakes. You didn't see me like lashing out and like freaking out over it. I just showed grace and moved on. Let's have the conversation. That's all it was. That's all it is. Let's talk the scriptures. And he won't even talk the scriptures with me. It's wild. He's supposed to be the remnant elect of God in these end times, bringing present truth to all non-believers. And he won't even talk the scriptures with me. He says, also, you've been trying to debate me for 2 years. Is that the truth? See, even saying that, like he acknowledged it in the past. And when we were talking on the phone, even he acknowledged it and said, yeah, I saw you. I just wasn't ready for you. I obviously can't prove that because he said that to me on the phone. He didn't type it. I think he typed it somewhere else. I'd have to look. He said, I want you to think about that, because talking like we're 10-year-olds about that, because you said that on your channel. You've been trying to debate me for 2 years. You really think that me and you have been trying to debate for 2 years? I've been trying to have a discussion with you for 2 years. Within those 2 years, you kept saying no, or you just ignored me. No real explanations of why you wouldn't. Given the context that I'm pretty sure you were on Facebook running a Facebook channel where critics were debating with you all the time. So you'd already been doing this debating stuff for a while on Facebook. And then I am the only person on your channel for like a year and a half that was asking you to have a discussion on Daniel 8, the very chapter that you probably know better than any other chapter in the Bible as an Adventist. And you, quote unquote, were not ready to have that discussion. Fine, whatever. Backed off for a while. And then I happened to see that you were starting to allow critics on your channel. So I'm like, oh, great. Let's talk. You block me for who knows what reason. Your reasons don't make any sense. But you block me. I can't talk. I can't say anything. And you're having critics on. I can't come on your channel. So apparently you were ready to talk with critics, but you refused to talk with me, so much so that you blocked me. None of it makes sense. I said, yes, if need be, I can get the receipts. The receipts are on his live streams 2-3 years ago. You just go, I just not interested in going and taking screenshots right now. But if he wants to accuse me of being a liar, then I will if need be. Don't really want to, waste of time, but yeah. He said, how am I guaranteed that I'll go on your platform and be respected? Because I've already told you like 10 times, look at the evidence. You're hyper zoomed in on 5 seconds of one joke, not made by me, but by somebody else. And then I have 20 hours or somewhere around there of live interaction, discussion with Adventists on my channel. And 0% of the time was there any disrespect. 0%. And in fact, I was so casual and laid back, I would let them talk for like 20 minutes. They presented their 20-minute spiel, and then we discussed things. And so this was last night. I'm not on your platform and I get disrespected. What makes me think Daryl is not going to disrespect me if I go on your platform, which that doesn't even make any sense. He's not going to be talking with you when we're talking on my panel. That doesn't, what? Daryl can say whatever he wants on his lives. It's like, you don't understand what I'm saying. No, I think you're running. That's what I think it is, because all the evidence points into that direction. You're running from the conversation between you and I on Daniel 8 because you know you cannot deal with my arguments. You have no answers. That's what I think it is. I'm not mad. I'm disappointed in you big time, but I'm not mad. You know, it is what it is. You claim you respect me, and yet for 2 years you've not shown any respect. Words mean nothing without action. Utterly meaningless for you to tell me that you respect me and then you show zero respect. I said the evidence will show you. I have like 20 hours of me talking with SDAs, and it's 100% of the time respectful. 100%. In fact, I'll say 101%. 101% of the time, it is respectful. You are hyper focused on 5 seconds of one guy making a joke that got corrected by my friend. Yes, it got corrected by my friend on there. And he is enough of a friend to where if he corrected it, which he did, I have nothing else to say. What he said spoke for me as well. And we moved on. Like grown adults, we moved on. So Daryl won't be on, just you and me, or you can bring someone with you and it'll be just me. And as a rational person, which I assume you are, I said, just weigh the evidence. Just weigh the evidence. Or I'll do you better. Come on my channel, not as Adventist AI Abe. Just come on as Abraham. Your own individual, not some robot, not some AI individual, not the channel Adventist AI Abe. Come on as Abraham. Act as if you just met me on the street and I asked you to have a conversation on Daniel 8. And here we are having this conversation. Could you even do that? I don't think you could. And of course, this morning he says, I will have to decline the debate with you this week. I'll be contract to see if we can in the future. God bless, bro. I'll be in contact, okay, to see if we can in the future, which I'll leave that all up to him. If he wants to, great. I'm not going to do any interaction. This whole ordeal is like middle school drama nonsense. And drama annoys the heck out of me. I cannot deal with drama. Drama, especially if this, like, it just, I don't want to deal with it. It's goofy. Seems petty. I just don't want to deal with it. He says, I'm going to have to refuse the debate, but I'm not going to close the door. Maybe in the future we can have it again. But as of right now, for this moment, I'm not going to go on your platform. I'm not going to debate you because of everything that has happened. So there it is. In his own words, he is running from having a discussion with me. Because it's not anything I did. I didn't do anything wrong. But I would still apologize to him. I would even apologize on the live stream, and then we would talk Daniel 8. I'd be okay with that. But he won't even accept that, which tells me, given all the evidence, tells me that he's running from the discussion. He's not actually interested in having the discussion. He said, maybe in the future I'll be in contact with you and I'll send you a message. And he even just said, well, maybe. I did nothing wrong, dude. You know, deep down, you know I did nothing wrong. And I think deep down, you know that you cannot answer my objections to your position on Daniel 8. That's at the core of why you won't. Because there's no really other reason to not having discussion with me. After you said you wanted to. After you said, yeah, I will. If you did not say those words, I would not even be here. I would not be pressing you to have this conversation. I would have moved on. Maybe it was my mistake to schedule both of you, gentlemen. Well, that was a mistake, but you didn't see me harping on it. You didn't see me say anything about it. But I was trying to accommodate both of you because I know that both of you are friends, which is, this doesn't make any sense. What do you mean accommodate both of you? Daryl had already been on. I only went through Daryl because Daryl was willing to let me use him and his topic as a means to get me to talk with you, because you were not able, for whatever reason, to set up a time to have me on. I even gave you my phone number and you would not call me. So it was this weird, like, you're not actually wanting to connect with me, stringing me around, not setting up dates, being very vague in your words, not like even addressing what I'm saying. It was a horrible experience on that part. And you say we're friends, but we're not. I met him. I tagged him like a month ago because I reviewed a video you had with, and he was on it. I reviewed it and I said, hey, do you want to come on and talk? That's how I met him. We talked twice. So we're not friends. That's not considered a friend. He's an acquaintance I met because he was on your channel. As of right now, because of what happened with your friend, I'm not going to debate you. See how childish this it just seems so petty, so childish, that I can't get past that because he's a grown man acting so petty and childish. It's almost like these guys have like their little clubhouse and they're going to let you in, but if you make a single mistake or whatever they consider a mistake, you're kicked out and that's it. Maybe we'll reevaluate your files, and maybe in the future you can come back. But right now, you're out of the club. You can't talk to us. It's just goofiness, man. Goofy. I'm not going to debate you. I'm not going on your platform. As I said, I'd even have a private conversation with you. It doesn't even have to be public if that's what you're afraid of. Let's do it private. I'm okay with that. But I'm going to leave the door open in the future. Perhaps me and you can have a conversation. Bro, God bless you, bro, and not getting in contact with you. I don't even know what that means. I don't know. Bro, God bless you, bro, and not getting in contact with you. I don't know what that means at all. Goofy, man. Grace peace to everybody. I see there's a couple people here. It is, but this is going to be the last one, unless if he changes his mind and wants to have a conversation. I'm open to it. I have no hard feelings against him. Don't hate him. Don't dislike him. I just find this stuff super petty and annoying. That's it. God bless you, brother. But I didn't even insult. Yeah. I don't know. He's probably not ready. In fact, I think most likely he was not. Because the things that I argue go against the SDA position directly, which is what it is. But anyways, guys, I gotta get going. I'm gonna tag off. Appreciate every single one of you being here. Have a good rest of your day. Grace and peace. God bless.